I'm Zahir, Kelvin Abdullah, and this is Nightline. The top stories: cooperation between ASEAN and China to be enhanced during Malaysia's ASEAN Chairmanship next year. And house arrest applications for prisoners must go through Pardons Board. Good morning. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim is confident that the cooperation between ASEAN and China will be enhanced during Malaysia's ASEAN Chairmanship next year. He also emphasized the importance of a smart partnership among ASEAN member states to strengthen unity in the Southeast Asian region. During an interview with China's Central Television CCTV in Beijing recently, Anwar said Malaysia will place inclusivity and sustainability at the forefront of its ASEAN chairmanship.
For ASEAN would include, of course, political stability, effective collaboration between countries, even dealing with somewhat more precarious, slightly contentious issues.
Last October, the leaders of China and ASEAN countries expressed their commitment to enhance cooperation after both sides have substantially concluded that the ASEAN-China Free Trade Area ACFTA 3.0 upgrade negotiations in Vientiane, Laos. It is expected to pave the way for the formation of one of the world's most populous and robust free trade areas, which will significantly contribute to regional development in the face of rising global protectionism.
Meetings among officials is ongoing, and we are quite confident that we could cement that sort of understanding by next year. You see, we happen to be, other than ASEAN, we're also the country coordinator between ASEAN and China. So we will do whatever is necessary, not only to facilitate, but to accelerate the process. And I think, therefore, I am, quite optimistic.
All applications for pardons and sentence reductions for prisoners convicted of offences in the Federal Territories must be submitted to the Pardons Board chaired by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. This includes the proposal for former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak to serve the remainder of his sentence under house arrest. In a statement on Saturday, the Attorney General's Chambers, AGC, said that it had been instructed by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong to inform the public that such applications must follow the procedures and channels prescribed by law and regulations in force and not through any other means. Therefore, if any party wishes to propose that any prisoner, including Najib, serve the remainder of their sentence under house arrest, the application for such a matter must be submitted for consideration by the Pardons Board chaired by the King. The AGC also stated that under Article 42, subsection 1 of the Federal Constitution, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong has the authority to grant pardons, reprieves and respites for offences committed in the Federal Territories of Kuala Lumpur, Labuan and Putrajaya. Article 42, subsection 2 of the Federal Constitution further provides that the King may remit, suspend or commute any sentence imposed by the courts. In this matter, decisions made by the King, based on the advice of the Pardons Board under Article 42 of the Federal Constitution, are also subject to applicable legal provisions to prevent such actions from being challenged in court for being unlawful. Rapid KL's rail services will operate until 3 a.m. during the New Year's Eve celebrations, while selected bus routes will run until 3:30 a.m. on January 1st to ease congestion. The extended operating hours will assist the public in planning their return trips after the celebrations and help reduce congestion at stations near event locations. In a statement on Saturday, Prasarana Malaysia Berhad announced that the extended hours will cover 18 rail stations, 4 rapid transit bus stations and 20 key rapid KL bus and feeder routes. Train frequency will also be increased across all rail lines starting from 7:30 p.m. on December 31st. The extended operations will cover the Kelana Jaya, Ampang Sri Petaling, Kuala Lumpur Monorail, Kajang, Putrajaya and Sunway BRT lines. Key stations included are KLCC, Masjid Jame', Pasar Seni, Ampang Park, Bukit Bintang, Tun Razak Exchange, Mutiara Damansara and Sunway Lagoon. Additionally, a total of 2,731 rapid KL frontliners, including auxiliary police and operations staff, will be on duty to ensure seamless travel. The Foreign Ministry on Saturday has confirmed that 4 Malaysians were injured in an accident involving a tour bus in Norway on Thursday. The victims were reported to have sustained only minor injuries and have been relocated to a crisis centre at a nearby hotel in Northland. In a media advisory, Wisma Putra stated that the 4 Malaysians have been provided with accommodation at the Thorn Hotel in Lofoten. It added that the passengers have not been allowed access to any phones or direct communication with the outside world due to ongoing investigations into the crash. A consular team dispatched by the Malaysian Embassy in Stockholm is actively working with local authorities to determine the total number of Malaysians involved and to provide the necessary assistance. The ministry is also closely monitoring developments following the accident to ensure the safety and well-being of the affected Malaysians. The bus accident occurred near Lake Asvandnet at 1:30 p.m. local time during severe weather conditions, which caused the bus to lose control and crash. Of the 58 passengers on board, 3 fatalities have been reported, while 4 others were severely injured. All palm oil dealers will be required to issue purchase receipts for commodities bought from smallholders starting January, and failure to comply will result in non-renewal of their licenses. Plantation and Commodities Minister Datuk Sri Johari Abdullah on Saturday stressed the need for accurate weighing equipment to prevent fraud and safeguard smallholders' interests.
Kita nak beritahu mereka kena betulkan timbang-timbang mereka ni, sebab jangan ada sebarang komplain datang daripada pekebun kecil mengatakan timbang dia tak betul. Okey, nombor 2, setiap kali dia beli daripada pekebun kecil ini, dia mesti mengeluarkan resit kepada pekebun kecil itu, tunjuk berapa tan, berapa berat dan berapa dia punya OER, ya, all extraction rate. Kena bagi kepada mereka untuk orang simpan.
Johari said this to reporters after attending the Malay Businessmen and Industrialists Association Malaysia Annual General Meeting in Kuala Lumpur on Saturday. He also said that the Malaysian Palm Oil Board, MPOB, have been directed to monitor and ensure strict adherence to these regulations, including by conducting surprise inspections. The move was prompted by frequent grievances from smallholders who allege dishonest practices by dealers. In Johor, 8 people, including 2 children, were injured when the multi-purpose vehicle MPV they were travelling in collided with a trailer in Mersing. The incident occurred at Jalan Mersing Nita near Felda Nita Satu on Saturday afternoon. According to the State Fire and Rescue Department Operations Centre, a team of 13 firefighters from the Mersing Fire Station rushed to the scene after a distress call was received at 3 p.m. Upon arrival, rescuers found the MPV driver trapped in a seat and successfully extricated her using specialised equipment. Aside from the driver, the car's 7 passengers, including 2 boys aged 3 and 6, sustained injuries, while the 36-year-old lorry driver escaped unhurt. The victims were sent to the Mersing Hospital for treatment. The cause of the accident is being investigated under the Road Transport Act. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razaruddin Hussein has filed a 3 million ringgit defamation lawsuit against blogger Wan Muhammad Azri Wanderis, better known as Papa Gomo. The suit against the blogger was filed in relation to a statement made in a video that was posted on YouTube and TikTok and shared across other social media platforms. Razaruddin's lawyer, Ram Kumar, stated that the suit was filed at the Kuala Lumpur High Court on Thursday and was served to Wan Muhammad Azri the following day. He added that his client is demanding that the defendant retract the alleged defamatory statements or delete and destroy all videos publications and materials containing such content. The plaintiff is also seeking damages and an injunction to prevent the defendant, either directly or through other parties, from making further defamatory statements, as well as from publishing or facilitating the republication of such statements. Razaruddin, when contacted, confirmed the matter but declined to comment further. It was previously reported that an investigation paper over the alleged defamatory videos against the IGP and the police had been referred to the Attorney General's chambers. The case is investigated under the Minor Offences Act, Communications and Multimedia Act and the Penal Code. Police have seized 13.3 kilograms of drugs valued at an estimated 1.2 million ringgit in two separate raids in Selangor. During the first raid conducted at 5:30 p.m. in Bukit Gasing, Petaling Jaya on Monday, a 48-year-old local man was arrested. Upon inspecting the suspect's car, authorities discovered 20 compressed blocks of heroin base weighing 7.4 kilograms. In a statement on Saturday, Bukit Aman Narcotics Criminal Investigation Department NCID Director Datuk Sri Koh Kok Chin said that following the initial operation, the police raided a house in Puchong at 9:30 a.m. on Friday. During the raid, the authorities found another 16 packs of heroin base weighing 5.9 kilograms. The seized drugs could cater to approximately 900,000 drug addicts. A background check also revealed that the suspect has one prior criminal record related to drugs offences. The suspect, who tested negative for drugs, has been remanded for 7 days until Monday to assist with investigations under the Dangerous Drugs Act. The police are also actively tracking down other syndicate members who remain at large. Meanwhile, in Kelantan, the General Operations Force (GOF) arrested two men aged 19 and 34 on suspicion of possessing firearms and drugs in Kampong Degong, Pasir Mas on Friday. GOF Southeast Brigade Commander Datuk Nik Ros Azhan Nik Abdul Hamid said the suspects were detained during a raid on a hut in the village at 7 a.m. as part of the Op Taring Wawasan operation conducted by personnel from the GOF 9th Battalion. During the operation, authorities also seized a rifle, a pump gun, 124 live bullets, 76 grams of ganja, 27 yaba pills, 6.2 grams of shabu, and two mobile phones belonging to the suspects, all with a total estimated value of 6,397 ringgit. Both suspects were taken to the Pasir Mas District Police Headquarters for further action, where they also tested positive for shabu. The case is being investigated under the Arms Act and the Dangerous Drugs Act. Police are on the hunt for two men who robbed a jewellery store in a popular shopping mall in Bandar Hele, Malacca on Friday afternoon. According to a CCTV recording of the brazen daylight robbery, the two masked men entered the ground floor premises of the busy mall and brandished sharp weapons at the workers. The 1 minute and 21 second video showed two female employees at the store as the armed suspects wearing caps and black jackets entered and demanded jewellery from the counters. One of the suspects was then seen reaching behind one of the counters to take the jewellery before jumping over it to grab more. The terrified staff stood aside to avoid harm, watching helplessly as the suspects fled with the valuables. Malacca Tengah District Police Chief ACP Christopher Patit confirmed the incident on Saturday. However, he declined to provide further details as investigations are still ongoing. A total of 495 summonses were issued by the Bukit Aman Traffic Investigation and Enforcement Department (JSPT) since the implementation of Op Lancha on Monday. The most common offence detected was queue jumping, with 270 summonses issued. According to Bukit Aman JSPT Director Datuk Sri Muhammad Yusri Hassan Basri, 58 summonses were also issued to motorists for misusing emergency lanes and 167 summonses were handed out for overtaking on double lines. He added that 661 operations have been carried out so far during Op Lancha, including traffic dispersal at locations with heavy congestion. Muhammad Yusri also stated that 6,474 accident cases were reported during the same period, including 63 incidents that resulted in 72 fatalities. Op Lancha, which ends on January 2nd, is being carried out in conjunction with the festive season and year-end school holidays. 585 events to be contested in 2025 Thailand SEA Games. Sports after this breather.
Mempertaruhkan nyawa demi keadilan. Setiap langkah penyamaran penuh risiko.
Dah buat pemeriksaan 100%. Sejumlah besar senjata api dengan dadah dijumpai.
Unit gerak khas kini kembali dengan misi yang lebih mencabar.
Kawan kita kot yang jadi mangsa.
Kau boleh goda aku sampai aku sayang pada kau.
Bebas. Bukan bererti dia terlepas.
Gerak khas Undercover setiap Ahad 11.30 pagi di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Tonton ada banyak drama dan filem Korea terbaik. Muat turun aplikasi Tonton sekarang. Layan upah sampai pagi.
Terima kasih 2024. Anda adalah inspirasi kami.
Melodi terhangat di tanggal pertama.
Masing-masing ada penceritaan yang tersendiri ya.
Macam dulu mesra tanpa
yang dijadikan sebagai kedai runcit.
Assalamualaikum dan apa khabar penonton Nona sekalian?
Kita dapat perbezaan yang ketara antara Doktor Para, Doktor Tentera dan juga Doktor Awam.
Ia ditulis oleh seorang bernama Abu Abdullah.
Korang dah duduk berdua-duaan dalam kereta ni. Benda ni salah tau.
Mak tokek ikan. Financial stability out over my dead body.
Asalkan puan tolong restu perkahwinan kami.
Abah! Ma, Abah ambil duit cuma. What?
Video ni dah viral semua.
Tahun baru.
Cerita baru.
Siap sedia untuk tahun
2025.
We're back with sports. The 2025 Thailand SEA Games is likely to offer a record number of gold medals, with 585 events expected to be contested from December 9th until 20th in Bangkok, Chonburi and Songkhla. Olympic Council of Malaysia, OCM Secretary General Dato' Muhammad Nazifuddin Najib said the organisers made several additions and changes to the events unexpectedly during a virtual meeting held last week. Speaking to the media after opening the Malaysia Kids Olympic on Saturday, Nazifuddin stated that following the discussion, the number of events has increased to 585, although the number of sports remains at 50. According to the list, 11 events have been dropped, while 16 events have been added. Among the newly listed events are the 20-kilometre race walk and the 3,000-metre steeplechase for both men and women, bringing the total number of gold medals up for grabs in athletics to 47. Nazifuddin noted that the changes also involve sports such as gymnastics, canoeing, cycling, e-sports, pencak silat and judo. At the last edition in Cambodia, 580 events across 36 sports were contested, while the 2021 edition in Vietnam and the 2019 edition in the Philippines featured 523 events across 40 sports and 530 events across 56 sports, respectively. Meanwhile, the OCM stated that the Malaysia Kids Olympic, which kicked off at Stadium Merdeka on Saturday, has the potential to inspire the nation's next Olympic medalists. Nazifuddin said the two-day event is intended to give young children their first experience of a multi-sport competition.
Kita nampak untuk anak-anak kecil bawah 12 tahun tak banyak program untuk sukan. Ini lebih pada sukan pendedahan, grassroots, di mana kita pertama kali menganjurkan dalam sistem multi-sport event. Itulah sistem yang kita menjaga macam SEA Games, Asian Games dan sebagainya supaya anak-anak kecil ada experience.
Nazifuddin revealed that this year's edition features 5 sports, with plans to increase the number of sports included in future editions. The 5 sports featured this year are baseball, softball, volleyball, gymnastics and modern pentathlon. Kids Olympics is organised by the National Olympic Academy (NOA) and involves 800 young athletes under the age of 12 from across the country. In the meantime, sports observer Muhammad Sadiq Mustafa on Saturday said the government needs to consistently invest at least 1 billion ringgit in each Olympic preparation cycle if the nation is serious about securing its first gold medal at the world's biggest sporting event. Speaking on the podcast Khas Buletin TV3, Sadiq emphasised that such a substantial investment should not be limited to supporting targeted medal contenders alone. Instead, it must also encompass the development and funding of potential athletes to ensure long-term success in future Olympics.
Tetapi kita perlu realistik dari aspek statistik tersebut. Berapa? Bagi saya, pandangan saya, kerajaan perlu konsisten berbelanja 1 bilion ringgit melabur kepada atlet ini yang akan memberikan satu nilai komersial yang begitu besar ke seluruh dunia.
He added that this level of consistent funding should not be a short-term measure, such as starting now only to prepare for the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. Rather, it should include early development programs to identify and nurture potential athletes, covering key areas such as coaches, training regimes and infrastructure enhancements. Sadiq also pointed out that since Olympic success can contribute to a country's commercial and sporting image, corporate sponsorship must be leveraged to minimize reliance on taxpayers' funds. At the same time, active participation from sports associations will be crucial to drive these efforts forward effectively. Moving to tennis, the United Cup. Argentina defeated Australia 2-1 in their Group F opener on Saturday to disappoint the Australian crowd and dent the home side's chances of lifting its first trophy at the mixed teams event. Nadia Podoroska gave Argentina an early lead in the tie, comfortably defeating Olivia Gadecki of Australia 6-2, 6-4 in the women's singles. However, Alex de Minaur then levelled the scoring with a 6-1, 6-4 victory in just 1 hour and 17 minutes against Thomas Etcheverry to allow for a decider in the doubles match. Undeterred, Maria Lourdes-Carlet and Etcheverry responded well, beating doubles standouts Matthew Ebden and Ellen Perez 6-2, 6-4 to seal the 2-1 victory for Argentina. The win placed Argentina at the top of the group, while Australia now faces a must-win match against Great Britain to stay in contention for the quarter-finals. Thick fog disrupts flights. The details when Nightline returns.
Kekal cakna, kekal sihat. Hello Doktor merungkai pelbagai persoalan kesihatan anda.
Penyakit kronik, pemakanan, kesihatan mental, semuanya demi kesejahteraan anda.
Setiap minggu bersama tenaga pakar kesihatan terbaik Malaysia, segalanya terjawab dalam Hello Doktor setiap Ahad
5.30 petang di TV3
dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Sayang, nampak jam saya tak?
Alah, awak yang tak kemas betul-betul. Semaklah, serabut tau.
Hidup ini keras. Kita patut bertolak ansur dengan pasangan kita.
Kita kena ambil berat, ambil peduli dan saling berkongsi kesenangan dan kepayahan kerana ia adalah penghubung kasih sayang.
Hai sayang.
Abang dah balik?
Dah masak dah?
Sorry, belum lagi.
Kita sentiasa berharap untuk dapat pasangan yang terbaik untuk kita.
Namun, tak semua kesempurnaan dapat kita kecapi. Yang paling penting, kita kena saling memahami antara satu sama lain.
Dekat tonton, ada pelbagai drama dan filem Korea nombor 1. Seronoknya, layan OPA sampai pagi. Muat turun aplikasi tonton, semua favourite anda ada di sini.
Welcome back. Air travellers in Britain face further disruption on Saturday as fog that has blanketed much of the country in recent days grounded flights and hampered landings and takeoffs. Various airports saw disruption, including London Gatwick, Manchester and the country's busiest hub, Heathrow. The Air Traffic Control Authority, NAT, said the restrictions were to maintain safety and that its teams were working closely with the airports and airlines to minimize disruption. The disruption comes at one of the busiest times of the year for air travel. The Palestinian Health Ministry announced that Zionist forces have arrested the director of Kamal Adwan Hospital and other staffers on Saturday. The arrest came after a Zionist military offensive targeted the hospital and its surroundings.
الشبابيك تدخل الناس القداية على ابواب. طبعا نحن نزلنا الساعة 7:30 مش عارفين وين نروح، مش عارفين شو نسوي. طلب منا نطلع اجتماع دون على الفافورة. طبعا الطريق غاد مش طريق، انت بتغرق في الرمل.
According to reports, Zionist troops forcibly evacuated patients and medical personnel from the hospital on Friday before setting fire to its large sections, rendering it completely inoperable. The attack forced the closure of the northern Gaza Strip's last major medical facility, and the health ministry said contact with staff had been fully lost. South Korea's prosecutors are alleging that suspended President Yoon Suk-yeol authorized the military to shoot if needed to enter parliament during his short-lived attempt to impose martial law. According to the prosecution indictment report, Yoon told the chief of the Capital Defense Command, Lee Jin-woo, that military forces could shoot if necessary to enter the National Assembly. It also said that Yoon vowed to declare martial law 3 times if necessary. However, Yoon's lawyer dismissed the prosecutor's report, stating that it was a one-sided account. Yoon, who was stripped of his duties by the National Assembly this month, is under investigation for his short-lived attempt to scrap civilian rule, which plunged the country into political turmoil and led to his impeachment. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has asked the U.S. Supreme Court to delay an upcoming TikTok ban while he works on a political resolution. In a court filing on Friday, Trump said the case represents an unprecedented, novel and difficult tension between free speech rights on one side and foreign policy and national security concerns on the other. The filing stated that Trump takes no position on the dispute's merits, but argued that delaying the January 19 deadline would allow him to seek a political resolution without going to court. The court is set to hear arguments in the case on January 10, a day before Trump takes office. And that concludes Nightline. Before we leave, let's take a look as 4 kayakers set off on an exhilarating ride along Gabon's mystical Ivindo River. With that, I'm Zahir, Kelvin and Abdullah. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your weekend.